Summer Youth Olympic The second Summer Youth Olympic Games are only 17 days away, and this means the members of the Australian Youth Olympic team are in their final preparations. My name is Philip Brent, and joining me today is Jack van Stekelenburg, who is competing in triathlon in Nanjing. The Youth Olympic team will see two athletes compete in triathlon. Brittany Dutton from Queensland and my guest, Jack van Stekelenburg, who is from Victoria. Thanks for joining me today, Jack, and congratulations on your selection.
Thank you very much.
So I'll get into a few questions. How did you get into triathlon?
For as long as I can remember, really, I've been involved in athletics, cross country and swimming, and a bit of surf lifesaving. And then at one stage, I was doing a bit of mountain biking just for fun back in Geelong, and I crashed pretty badly and sort of split my arm. And that was the last time I rode a mountain bike. And basically, Dad had just started triathlon, and I was into it from there. So that's how it all came about, really.
Thanks a lot, Dad. Now you're going to the Youth Olympics. That's great. What has been your career highlight so far?
It'd definitely have to be my selection in this team, even though I wasn't the outright selection. But after Matt, unfortunately, I had to pull out due to the broken clavicle. Yeah, definitely my selection in this team, and second at the trials for it, which doubled as our Oceania Championships.
Good to know. Yeah, as you said before, you were selected into the team due to unfortunate circumstances. That was Matt Hauser, who came first in the Olympic qualifier in Penrith, and you came second. So of course, you were the next one to go. But unfortunate for Matt that he can't head to Nanjing. But a great thing for you, and it opens up big opportunities for yourself. You found out a couple of weeks ago that you were heading to Nanjing. How did you take the news?
It was a very exciting time for me. I sort of had to go through a selection process and prove that my fitness was at a level similar to when I was in Penrith. And as soon as I got my official confirmation last Friday, really, I had a smile on my face. I couldn't stop smiling. It was just an awesome feeling. And yeah, I told my family. My family were just as excited for me, and friends as well. So I've had a lot of support over the time, and it's good to pay off and make an Australian team.
Definitely. Great to hear. Have you raced overseas before?
Yeah, in 2013, I went over to New Zealand for the Oceania Championships, and I raced in Wellington there.
Nice. Those conditions are going to be a bit different to Nanjing. How do you think you'll deal with the heat over in Nanjing, and how have you prepared to cope with it?
Yeah, well, it's obviously winter here, and we've been having about 12 degrees on average most days, and especially being in Melbourne, it's even colder. But I've been doing most of my training with hats, beanies, gloves, long sleeves, long pants, and been doing a few wind trainer sessions inside the house with the heater on and long sleeves. So hopefully a bit of Melbourne heat training will pay off in Nanjing.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Have you done, other than training, have you done any competing in, say, the last month or so? Or is it just basically training?
Because we're a summer sport, there hasn't been any competition around Victoria for me to compete in, but I have been doing our cross-country season, which we're in the depth of at the moment, as well as on the weekend I flew to Brisbane just for a bit of a training camp sort of with Brittany Dutton and our coach, Josh White, and up there they sort of set up a little race simulation for me as well to get myself back into racing mode.
Definitely. Tell us about the team event. Will you and Brittany be competing together against other nations?
Brittany and I will combine with the New Zealand athletes, and we'll be competing in it's sort of a mini kind of triathlon with 4 legs. So we'll be competing for Oceania instead of Australia, but obviously representing Australia at the same time. And yeah, it's a really exciting thing. It hasn't been around for very long, and it's completely different to the actual race. Really high intensity and just team spirit, which you don't really get in an individual sport like this very often.
That's good to hear. Finally, it's probably a good thing on the New Zealand side we can help them.
Yeah.
So just on to the format of the triathlon. The triathlons will take place at one Zwanzu Lake, and the individual competitions will be on the 17th and 18th of August, and as Jack said before, the team event will be on the 21st of August. The format of the triathlon will see 3 events at the Youth Olympics. There will be 3 events at the YOG men and women individual events, and then 4 mixed team relays. The individual triathlon consists of a 750-metre open water swim, a 20-kilometre cycle ride, and a 5-kilometre run. The mixed team relay consists of a 250-metre swim in open water, a 6.6 cycle ride, and a 1.8-kilometre run. The events are continuous with no breaks in competition. The first athlete team to complete the course is declared the winner. Thanks a lot, Jack, for joining me today and taking your time off school to have a chat.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. So to keep up to date with On the Road to Nanjing, head to olympics.com.au and follow at Olympic Team on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Google+. Thanks for your company. I'm Philip Brent.